Okay, so one of the things I want to do is check your neck, because the neck is related to the back, and if you've been wobbling a little bit, I definitely have to look at your atlas, top bone, your upper cervical, occiput atlas. I'm going to come down the neck, make sure nothing's kinked up in the lower neck. Look through the withers, that's what I call them on horses, but come down through T3 through T8. The other really critical spot is where the thoracics meets the lumbars, and we're going to get into the lower back end, and then the pelvis, and then your left leg. And at least we're going to see if we see anything, and if we do, just do a very gentle adjustment. Now, since you're older, it's going to be super gentle. What do you think?
I think you should go for it, man. Yeah.
All right.
What do you got to lose?
I think it's a good idea. I think he's gonna go for it.
All right.
How did we find Cagney? We were at a bar. I was outside making a phone call in the rain, and I heard this teeny tiny little meowing sound, and I couldn't see any cat, so I started crawling under cars because that's where I was hearing it. And sure enough, this tiny, tiny little black and white kitten was up under a wheel well, and I put my hands up, and he immediately came down into my hands, and I brought him into the bar, which was, I remember that was a full line of people at the bar, and they all were, of course, exclaiming, and then somebody offered to give him a massage. And I'd never seen that before. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
Turned him upside down and gave him a little neck massage.
Yeah.
It was like, and then
we were with a friend, and he turned to me and he said, your life is going to radically change from here on in.
You're in trouble.
We already had cats, and the last thing we were looking for was another cat, but here we were.
I don't think we even really thought much about it. We brought him home.
That night, we fell completely in love with him, and
Tony carried him home in his hands. He was this small. He was about 6 weeks old.
Yeah, shouldn't have been away from his mom yet. So
we don't know what happened.
He's been a holy terror all his life. He was very feral and very crazy, and now that he's older, he's easier to treat. And now that he's not feeling well, unfortunately, he's actually a lot easier to treat. So for an 18-year-old, he's doing pretty good. We really think this is gonna work and help him get out of some pain, though, which is really key.
And it occurred to me, seeing him walk the way he was, that he could use some Dr. Doug Chiropractic.
So we have Cagney here today, and Tony is the owner and dad. And tell us what happened to Cagney.
Well,
and you can pick him up for a little while if you want.
Well, he might not let me. I'm trying to just get him to lay down. He took a spill. He caught his nail jumping down onto the couch, and did a number on it. Kind of tore his nail out.
You can see it.
They had to
zoom in on that. Or go real close to that.
He's been soaking it to help it. It was infected. We took him to the vet. They took care of the infection, but it seemed like he was getting better from that, but then walking was trouble. He's having a lot of trouble balancing. He's really lurching around a lot. He's got hyperthyroid, so he's on medication for that now, which is improving.
Hypo or hyper? Hyper is fast. Hypo is slow.
Wow.
Did he lose weight?
He loses.
So he had hyper.
Yeah.
He had hyper.
So he's gotten medication for that, which is helping his overall strength and mood and stuff. He's on CBD pellets for hip joint. Before the accident, he was having a little wobbly issues, so he wasn't walking really steadily. So whatever he did to his leg when he torqued it, pulled his nail, I don't know what he did, because obviously he won't tell us, but the doctor didn't feel there was anything broken. They couldn't do an x-ray because that would mean putting him out. And at 18,
is he 18?
He's 18.
Okay, that was my next question, is how old is he?
Yeah. So he's feeling a lot better in general. Like in the last couple of days, he's a little more feisty. But he's still really favoring this leg and
the back left.
This back left, yeah. So it's the toe still tender, but we don't know what else has gone on to that hip or that joint when he torqued it. I know, buddy. I know.
And so, how long ago was the trip?
He fell about 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
He's back from the vet about a week.
And he was named after James Cagney?
Yes. Not Cagney and Lacey, which would be fun too.
That would be a good one too, though.
Yeah.
Right?
Hi, buddy.
So, hey.
This is Dr. Doug Willen. He's a dear friend of ours.
Yes.
You have not met Doug yet. I think you were sleeping last time you came over.
Now, I met your wife when I was in college. That's
Yes.
a long time ago.
Doing a show. You were a show together?
We were in a Androcles and the Lion together. And I played the lion and you played Androcles.
Yes, I did.
So she's filming right now. But that's how long I've known her. And then we met probably 5 or 6 years ago by now, right?
Oh, more than that,
More
I
than
think.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm walking around and talking primarily because of your help after
Thank you.
some stupid injuries.
So, Cagney, can I work with you today? I always like to ask because I think in some way they know that I'm just at least acknowledging that, you know, I don't know, everybody needs to know their space and know if someone's entering their space. Now, I just met Cagney, you know, or I haven't had any experience with Cagney. So, hey, Cagney. What do you think? Should we work a little bit? I'm going to want to work in 2 areas, Cagney. Let me tell you what I'm going to do, okay? Just try not to move that chair. Okay, so one of the things I want to do is check your neck because the neck is related to the back. And if you've been wobbling a little bit, I definitely have to look at your atlas, top bone, your upper cervical, occiput atlas. I'm going to come down the neck, make sure nothing's kinked up in the lower neck. Look through the withers, that's what I call them on horses, but come down through T3 through T8. The other really critical spot is where the thoracics meets the lumbars. And we're going to get into the lower back end, and then the pelvis, and then your left leg. And at least we're going to see if we see anything, and if we do, just do a very gentle adjustment. Now, since you're older, it's going to be super gentle. What do you think? All right.
He looks like he's thinking about it.
He's thinking about it. You want a little more time to think about it?
I think you should go for it, man. Yeah.
What do you got to lose?
I think it's a good idea.
You got Tony in the picture too?
Yeah, I think you should do
I did
it.
earlier.
All right.
I think he's going to go for it.
All right. So let's just check the atlas. I'm going to come up really soft. So right atlas is tight, pushed up against the occiput. Right there. Tension on it. Got it.
What happened? What was that?
Now you're not going to hear a crack on that, but what I did is I basically went in like this.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And flicked it. And you have to realize that it weighs less than an ounce, really,
Yeah.
that top bone. So, and I felt it just slide over. But now let me check the spacing and see if it worked. Yeah, so now it's even. So the gap on the right is equal to the gap on the left. And the gap that I'm talking about is the top bone has these little protuberances or wings, and they can move up and down or this way, and then the skull sits on top. So this one was wedged up against the skull, and I wanted to pull it down so they're even.
Okay.
So this is the skull on top, and these are the wings, but this was stuck, and that'll put a lot of pressure on the spinal cord.
Yeah.
And he could have done that jumping too, where you kind of get a whiplash.
Mm.
Yeah, it's possible his whole body is thrown
Yeah, and
off.
remember, at this age, you lost quite a bit of elasticity, I have. But, you know, he's 17?
18.
18, sorry. So now I'm coming down the neck. I'm on C2, C3. Now C3 has a little muscle knot, so I'm just going to rub it. This one does not have to be adjusted. What is his face doing? Can anybody see?
He seems pretty happy. He likes you. He would probably know if this wasn't going to go well by now.
And that's why I took a little time, because cats are tricky. My teachers told me you probably won't work with cats very much at all because they won't hold still for you. And they'll bite you and cut you. So far that hasn't been the case for me, because I kind of work real soft and figure it out.
Pretty happy right now.
And I just wait till I get permission. And I know that's kind of looked funny what I was doing in the beginning, talking to him, but I don't know, it's my way of just giving them a chance to go, okay, if he's asking permission, let me think about it.
Yeah.
Now I'm holding C4 on the right. And what's kind of cool, and this is what I do a lot with horses, is I let them lean into me. So if they like it, like I'm holding a muscle knot,
Oh, interesting.
and then they go like this,
Interesting.
because they go, wow, that feels good. And I think it's similar to like how a bear can scratch its back on a tree,
Yeah.
you know, or dogs lean into things, and cats will too. Like right now he's leaning into this muscle knot.
Yeah, he's getting comfortable.
So I'm holding a muscle knot, waiting till it releases. And this way I don't have to thrust. And if anything right now, we just want a breath. So let's all take a breath with him, okay? And if you're watching, take a breath. Just take a breath. You know, I learned that horses can sense when our breathing is agitated, and so can other animals. But my horse teachers taught me they can even kind of sense if your heart rate is elevated from stress.
Sure.
And it creeps them out. They don't want to be around that. They're prey animals, a horse, so they're always worried about agitated energy around them because it could be frightening to them. Even though they're big animals, they're always on alert to, possibly have to flee. And now, cats are not prey, they're predators, but they feel everything. They're so perceptive. So believe it or not, my finger is sticking into the side of his neck still, and he's leaning into me. Now notice, he could easily pull away, right?
Yeah, sure.
And here, turn this way so the camera can see you. Wait, come, maybe turn this way towards me. Okay, so I'm right in here,
Oh, I see.
and push him pretty hard, equally to
Right.
what I'm giving you. Now lean into that a second. That's what he's doing.
great.
Now you could always pull away, so just pull
Sure.
away, and then there's
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah.
It's over. The game's over.
Yeah.
But lean into it, and it's
Oh, so he gets it. He
Yeah.
knows, yeah.
and that's a wicked spot I
That's
just got
really
on you,
good.
wasn't it?
Yeah, I need some help myself.
All right, so that spot's done.
Good boy. Good boy. You're a good man.
So now I'm going to come down the thoracics. I'm at T3, T4, T5. This is where your saddle would be if you were a horse. Now I'm going to start to... So these are the little spinuses. Here's my knuckles. And I'm going to just grab each one and see if they have joint play or spring to it. And once in a while you feel one that's rigid. You know that Sesame Street song, one of these
Yeah,
things
yeah.
is not like the other?
Okay. Okay, buddy.
Which one does not belong? So we're looking for which one does not belong. That one's a little sensitive. So that one I'm going to lean into a little bit. Let's watch his eyes. So I watch eyes and ears quite a bit. And now I'm going to adjust it. Missed it. Got it.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Good boy.
So let him take a breath. Everybody's breathing.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And it might look like I'm holding him down. I'm not. I'm just got my hands on him so he's comfortable. Yeah.
Okay, now,
Well, now I'm
that's
holding it
a
down.
bad spot. Okay. Can I get that spot? It's a bad one on you.
You want to move somewhere, buddy?
So I think this is where some of his whiplash was.
Okay. I know.
So now we're getting into the lower thoracics where, think about it like a quadruped is on 4 feet, right? And the part that's most unsupported is the belly of the middle. Think of a hammock, right? And an older horse will see a horse with the saggy belly. So he's older, and that part has the least, or it has the most gravity pulling on it.
Sure.
So without even an injury, it's got vulnerability.
Right.
So he's moving around a little bit because I keep touching a really bad spot. And I see that back leg is really beat up.
Yeah. I know,
Well, his
buddy.
foot was soaked in water, so that's...
Oh, you're not jumping down. I know, buddy. You've had enough? You've had enough?
So we can do, if he settles in, we can do last little bit. And I might just go get it too, because I know the spot now.
It might be better not to prolong it too much.
Yeah, just get it going.
Sure. What do you need me to do?
Well, let's give him just a second to relax, and then we'll do a little bit more. Do you want to get that last little spot?
You'll feel better, buddy. You'll feel a lot better.
All right. Okay, there it is. I'm going to stay all the way back here so you have space. So you ready? 1, 2, 3. Good. That moved. Me made a little noise.
Okay.
And there's a lower one at the sacrum too, I can tell. Right there. Oh, that's the bad one. Got it. And got it. All right, I got
Okay.
those are done.
Good boy.
I think we'd probably
boy.
leave it here because
Okay.
unless he lets me look at the foot directly.
Well, part of it I wanted to see
the
if
foot
you
was an
could
infection.
if the hip is out of alignment.
I just
or-
adjusted the sacrum, that last one. But let me look at his
if
from
you
his
could see
rear
him
end.
walking, I don't know.
I'll sit low and I'll go lower. And here's the hip.
Yeah.
And there is a really bad spot right here. I'm going to stabilize off your back, okay? Ooh, it's there it is. So I can feel it pulsing under my fingertip. And what we want to see is if that leg will come down a little bit. So do you see the leg is pulled up and it's
Yes.
moving? Because I'm on the pressure point, and then it should relax if he lets me hold it long enough. And lets go, and then kind of hangs.
Okay.
Here it goes. It's almost done. And then breathing. 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 And then it should relax a little. That's it right there. So the hip was affected. So I'm going to do a last little impulse and then we're done. Ready? Because it's up. 1, 2, 3.
Good boy.
That's it.
Good boy.
So that's all we're going to do today.
Okay, let's go back in here.
So we finally have the Animal Cracker t-shirt. You can find the link in my store section of my YouTube page, Animal Cracker, and then you'll see store. Just click on that and it'll bring you a direct link. Comes in all sorts of colors. It comes in men's cut, women's cut, has pink, blue, black, white, and we also have mugs. It does send to Europe also, so it should be accessible for those that are connecting that way. Isn't that cute? All right, so we have Tony here.
Oh my God. Oh.
Wait, that's not it. Now, I don't know how I'm gonna do
Oh my. Oh.
All right.
Oh.
Which is your bad shoulder again?
This is the one I broke, the right one.
So let's just do a light tune-up. Keep your hand up here. That's in. Still in. All right, that's it.
Thanks, brother.
You're welcome.
Oh, wow. That's like a year lockdown. Didn't anybody do that to me?
That's good. All right. See? Everybody needs an adjustment.
1, 2, 3.